I wouldn't change anything, not one thing. I continue to be who I am. We will continue to be who we are as a group, as a team. We're gonna go out here and we're gonna compete together. We're gonna win together, and we're gonna be who we are. I wouldn't change a thing though.
Well, it's a Jimmy Butler after the Heat's last loss to the Nuggets. Game 4 going down tonight between the Nuggets and the Miami Heat. Before we bring in our next guest, which is Gabe Morency, I want to touch on Jimmy Butler really quickly. Hasn't had the best series. Playoff Jimmy's kind of disappeared a little bit.
Yeah.
Does he need to change something?
Absolutely. I think we haven't really seen a Jimmy Butler, a playoff Jimmy game since about game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals. After that, he hasn't really had his best game. Now, again, he has an ankle injury we know he's dealing with. So this game, game 4, is prime for Jimmy Butler to show up, and he needs to show up because if they lose tonight, it's curtains. It's done.
All right, let's bring in Gabe Morency, our next guest of SportsGrid. Gabe, you heard Jimmy there. Do you think he needs to change something himself to help his game here against Denver?
I think, he needs to be a little bit more aggressive, I would say, but this is the one thing that's bothered me a lot. And there's a lot of things that bother me, as you know, Vartanian, in this world. But so one thing that bothers me is I don't know what it is about the NBA media and NBA fans that we all want to play like we're psychiatrists and Fraser Crane and what are they thinking? What do they need? Like we don't hear, you don't hear someone say to Matthew Kachuk, do you need to change? What do you need to do different? Is this series over? Like NBA reporters, see, one thing you notice about the media, they've never played sports before. Like very few of them have ever competed at any level before. Because as soon as a team loses one game, it's over. Do you need to change everything? Is the series over? How much trouble are you in? I don't know, guys. Like, I'm thinking if I'm an 8 seed and I'm down 2-1 in the NBA Finals, things are going pretty good for us right now. You know what I mean? Things are going pretty good. But there's perception and there's reality. I mean, we can break this down. We can break that down all the hell we want. It's pretty simple. Will Miami's shots go in? And as far as, playoff Jimmy, I don't know. I must have missed something. Like, how many MVPs does Jimmy Butler have in the playoffs and all this? And, it's playoff Jimmy. Okay, playoff Jimmy. And to go back to, we need to see him what he was doing earlier in the playoffs. He ain't playing the New York Knicks anymore, man. Right? You're not playing the Boston Celtics. And it's all matchups. The Boston Celtics, great basketball team. They're soft. They're not a good defensive team. I don't care about your metrics and all this. They're not the type of team that's going to man up and play street ball with you. The Denver Nuggets have guys that can play street ball. Jimmy has sort of street balled his way through this. He's not a great offensive player. He's been willing himself, right? He's willed himself to put all those points in the bucket. Against Denver, it's a little bit tougher. I think he's tired. You brought up his ankle injury. I think that is a little bit of a problem as well. Yet, every time people have left Miami for dead, they've thrown that counter punch. And tonight's a very dangerous game, tricky game to handicap. It really is.
Gabe, you talked about the matchup and stuff like that. Nobody on Miami can match up with Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray right now. That two-man game that they did in game 3 was something special. Is there anything Miami can do going into game 4 to somewhat resemble, not even stop them, but just make their lives a bit more difficult?
I don't. Listen, if Eric Spoelstra and Darvin Ham and everybody else couldn't figure it out, I don't really see how. You can't. You're not going to stop him, right? You're not going to stop Jokic. I thought that it was true what they did, what they talked about the other night, actually, when he becomes a scorer. And I think that's kind of a dumb take, though, lip service, if you really analyze it with the whole, the way to beat Denver is make Jokic a scorer. And then, he can score and you take everyone else out. No, the other guys just missed their shots. You didn't take anything away. That's the whole thing with basketball, man. We can simplify this. Did your 3-point shots go in? Did you defend? Did you rebound? Okay. We can play, we can pretend this and pretend not all we want. Miami are a wounded animal coming into tonight, but I think it's the end of the line for them personally. Like I said, I've always thought that game 4s are the toughest to handicap because game 1, you go into a series, you have a take. You like a team. Game 2, there's always that bounce back zigzag. You have something to counter off of. Game 3, now you have 2 things. Now we're into the 4th one. It's like, okay, which way do we go? But coming into this thing, I like Denver in 5. I got to stick to my guns here. I said Denver 5, maybe 6. I laid 1.5 in the series. Big game for Denver tonight. I like Denver more on Wednesday than I do tonight. But at the same point in time, I think the Denver Nuggets are going to win tonight. I like Michael Porter Jr. to finally hit a freaking three-point shot. His prop is down to 1.5 right now. What got up to 2.5, etc., down to 1.5. I think Porter Jr. shows up tonight. And as far as the Heat are concerned, I do think Jimmy Butler will be aggressive offensively and could go over his number at 26.5. Mm-hmm. And I do like Bam Adebayo over 20.5. They bumped it up, but he's gone over this number in all 3 games of the series. I think he can do it again. As good as Jokic is, they don't stop anybody on the other side. They don't stop big men, the Nuggets.
Yeah, Butler's averaging 27 points in these playoffs, just over 27 points. He's got 9 straight, though, without dropping 30 points, which is crazy. Another prop that it just blows my mind when you really think about it, Gabe. Jokic to get a triple-double. I see it at minus 152. I know he's the first player to do, 10 triple-doubles in a postseason, but still, minus 152. Is that even worth a look?
It's insane. Yeah, I guess if you want to sweat it out. Look, basically, what's the stress of this prop? It's the assists.
Yeah.
Right? It's the assists. He's going to get double-digit points. All right? He's going to get double-digit rebounds. So then you get into that assist, and as somebody that plays props every night, as you guys know, man, there's been a few times we've been that looking up at the clock. Look, in game 1, he only got that 10th. He got that 10th in the last minute of the game.
Yeah, I saw you sweating it live on Twitter. It was great.
Remember I said one more assist would be really nice right about now.
Yeah. And
millions of people are on this, And it was like, 1 minute left. So it is a balance. You know what I've been doing? I've been just doing so I don't really stress it out. I'll play Nuggets to win, money line, same game parlay with the Jokic triple-double, and you get that up to plus money. But a prop that we got to get to, guys, is Jamal Murray. And if not for Jamal Murray, man, this guy would be winning the MVP. Right? Like, if not for Jokic, Jamal Murray would be the MVP.
Yeah.
But how about Jamal Murray, his consistency? Jamal Murray, the first player with 10 or more assists in the first 3 games of an NBA Finals since Magic Johnson. The number is 7.5 tonight. Let's go Jamal Murray over 7.5 assists. Love that play.
Speaking of Jamal Murray, you put out a tweet the other day saying that Jamal Murray and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander are the starting backcourt for Canada in the upcoming FIBA World Cup. Gabe, is this like the pinnacle moment for Canada basketball to finally get it right and make it to the Olympics? Because the talent in this country is unbelievable. So much NBA talent. We see Jamal Murray in the finals this year. Andrew Wiggins showed out last year in the finals. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's first team All-NBA. Is the time now for Canada basketball to finally get their act right?
If it isn't now, when? Like, if you know those T-shirts that teams are, if not us, why not us? If not now, and all that type of stuff. Let's be real. This Canadian basketball team and program has been hyped up and talked about. We've seen the growth of basketball in Canada, like point blank. Now we've seen the growth of NBA players from Canada getting drafted. It used to be a big deal, guys. I'm kicking it old school here, but it used to be a big deal that Bill Wennington was in the NBA, all right? It's like, wow, man, it's a guy from Montreal on the Bulls. He doesn't play much, but he's on the Bulls, man. Now it's like, Ben Matherin's from Montreal. Lou Dort's from Montreal. Montreal is just throwing these guys out into the league. We know about what the Toronto area has done. You spread it across Canada. In the past, they were never on the same page. It was kind of Steve Nash and everybody. So this is it. Like, I'd be heartbroken and crushed if they can't get into the Olympics. Now, listen, that FIBA World Cup, this thing is going to be awesome, man. We talk about soccer, and I love it all, man. I've been watching the Under 20 World Cup, but this FIBA World Cup, Canada is playing against Wembanyama in France. That's going to be sick. You got Giannis versus the United States in Manila. So we're going with the thriller in Manila once again. It's going to be some real cool stuff. But they got a solid team, this Canadian team, and there's absence. I'm going to be heartbroken and angered. Nick Nurse is still the coach. Talk about you got a backcourt of Jamal Murray and SGA. The starting lineup, you got Kelly Olynyk, RJ Barrett, and Dwight Powell. Those have been the 5 that have the most chemistry and have been the most loyal to the program. But the bench is pretty strong and deep, man. Dylan Brooks, Lou Dort, Ben Matherin, Chris Boucher. All right, they got some ballers on that team. They got some size. I do think they're going to make the Olympics. And let's not forget, too, the next 2 Olympics, guys, we're talking about Paris and Los Angeles. You can't miss this. You got to be in these things. If you're not, then who the hell are you, right? So who's who? This is like the party with the cool kids. You're not invited to the party in Paris. You ain't invited to the party in LA. I don't care about your Commonwealth invitation. Ooh, we won the Commonwealth Games. Good for you.
Hey, man, don't knock the Commonwealth Games.
What up, Charmin? Don't squeeze the Charmin. Good to see you, James.
You can squeeze me, mate. You mentioned Nick Nurse there. Do you ever look at the coaching markets? I know overseas the coaching markets in various sports are huge, but right now in the NBA, there's one job left, right, in Toronto. Do you ever look at those markets?
Yeah, it really is amazing, isn't it, that it's taken this long for Masai to make this decision. I've been going with Jama Malahela, who is not really a household name, but he is somebody that coached the 905s before. He is somebody who runs Masai Ujiri's African basketball program. He is someone that happened to be the player development of the Golden State Warriors as well. He's also Canadian. He's Swahili Canadian. There's a lot of boxes that are checked here as far as the Raptors, the style of ball that he plays, the trust with Masai Ujiri. Yeah, I'm amazed that it's taken this long, and I'm loading up the odds right now. I saw last night Kenny Atkinson was the favorite, James, and I'm a big Kenny Atkinson guy. I was living in New York when he was the coach of the Nets, and I was going to games, and he was doing a great job with that team. He's the favorite right now. It's too safe. It's too bland. That's not a Masai move. To me, they're going to think outside the box. It won't be Steve Nash, and it's not going to be J.J. Redick. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to throw a Jordy Fernandez at 12-1 at you. But really, I'm telling you guys, keep your eye on Jama Malahala at 28-1. I don't care if there's 28-1. This guy's in the mix to be the new coach.
All right, Gabe, we're just running out of time here. Quickly, do you have any other bets you like tonight that you can leave us with?
Well, you know what? There's a lot of stuff. How the hell am I not taking the under 20, Uruguay and Italy? Give me the under 2.5. This is for Charmin. We've been in soccer mode all week, and we've been crushing it.
Love it.
We got FC Cincinnati and the Vancouver Whitecaps. I'm not saying the Whitecaps are taking the MLS Cup, man, but I've been here for years. Normally, they're battling. It's like, listen, maybe they can get that last playoff spot, right? Now it's like, get home field. This team's got something. They got a buzz going on. Right now, you got FC Cincinnati rolling in. A great team. We know about FC Cincinnati. Love both teams to score. Both teams have scored in 6 of the 7 last Whitecap games. Both teams have scored in 6 of the last 9 FC Cincinnati games. I'm looking for both teams to score and get that result home Saturday night at BC Place. And I'll be right down the street at the UFC. Dariush Pizza Oliveira.
Gabe, you're the best. Thank you so much for doing this, man. We'll talk soon.
Hey, always a pleasure, guys.
All right, that's Gabe Morency of SportsGrid. Always bringing it. Always bringing the bets, too. Showing love to your Whitecaps.
How can you not, man? Back-to-back Canadian champs.
The MLS is getting a ton of play right now.
I don't know if many guys watch as much sports as Gabe, right?
He's on.
Yeah.
He's
switched on as well.
Yeah,
so
switched on
there's
the
money
ball.
in MLS to be
There
made
is,
if you know
there
the
is.
markets there.
Yeah, the Vancouver Whitecaps. You think they can make a run to the MLS Cup?
With that payroll, it'd be like a money ball type of thing, man.
Yeah, no kidding. I don't see that at all. But
No.
playoffs for sure. Maybe home field the way they're playing right now. But
The fact that we're talking about Vancouver sports on the Homestand Show just
Makes
brings
you
a
happy?
great
Yeah.
smile to my
We had
face
CJ
right
on. This
now.
guy was dying to ask a Vancouver question. I didn't let it slide, though.
You
Next
didn't.
time he's on.
Next time. We'll wait till
We'll
the
get
dog
a
days of the
le-
summer to get to the Canucks
We'll
talk.
get a
Don't worry.
Pedersen question in.
Yeah, we'll
Maybe
get
a
the-
Linden question. Ask him about what's going on with his gyms, right? All over.
No, that's fine.
Anyways, all right, okay. Coming up after the break, I would say we're going to do McCormick's Minute, but no McCormick.
Oh.
But I have a video I want to play for you guys.
Okay.
Maybe the worst first pitch in baseball history. You'll see it. Stay tuned.